Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today we're taking a look at Elrond and specifically our 2025 price prediction. Now this is all about trying to prepare ourselves for what lies ahead. As we finish this bull run, go into a bear market, there are some projects that we are going to want to build some really good solid positions in ahead of 2025. So we're going to go into a little bit of price analysis here on EGLD and the Elrond protocol to see whether this is a project that we want to be building a significant position in the lead up to the 2025 bull run. So guys, as we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will not miss another update. Right, let's kick things off. We're talking about what EGLD is and why you might want to start paying attention to this project if you're new to it. So ultimately, Elrond describes itself as a scalable, fast, and secure blockchain platform for distributed applications, enterprise use cases, and internet of the new internet economy. Elrond claims to solve the scalability trilemma with a 1000x improvement in blockchain speed, scale, cost, and user experience. And it all sounds quite good, right? Pretty fantastic things. But how does it actually work? I mean, the name of Elrond's game is increasing throughput, or the entire network's transactions per second, with a scaling technique called adaptive state sharding. It also introduces a novel approach to the consensus, which is called secure proof of stake. So to completely understand Elrond, we have to obviously understand those two things, how they differ from the current sharding and consensus methods, and why those differences are essential for scaling. So adaptive state sharding, right? So the optimal approach to blockchain sharding needs to take into consideration the advantages of all three different types of sharding. Okay, this is state sharding, transaction sharding, and network sharding. Now, obviously, adaptive state sharding, the consensus that Elrond have developed, works on a solution to the scalability conundrum by improving communications inside shards and increasing the network performance and efficiency. It does this by actually combining all three of the current sharding types into a solution that enables parallel processing on all levels. So shards are smaller sections of Elrond's networks are used for scaling. Each shard handles a portion of the state. This is accounts, smart contracts, blockchain, and transactions processing for each shard can process only a fraction of the transactions in parallel on other shards. So it's really interesting stuff, guys. And obviously we can talk about the proof of or the secure proof of stake as well. So SPOS is Elrond's approach to consensus. It eliminates the proof of work computational waste, such as what you see with Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. By basically combining eligibility through stake. So basically similar to a miner, is more likely to create a block depending on the amount of currency they hold and how long they've actually held it for when compared to what they call other forgers. And of course, ratings are also a part of that. So the basis for proof of stake with random validation selection and an optimal dimension for the consensus group. So Elrond's BFT-like consensus protocol maintains a high security level by randomly sampling the consensus group and randomly shuffling nodes into other shards to prevent collusion. It also uses an unbiasable, unpredictable randomness source generated by the block proposer via signing the previous random source. So lots of fantastic things going on. Now, obviously, I could talk quite some time on the various different levels of the Elrond protocol, and this might be the Elrond virtual machine, for example, with which is built using WebAssembly or WASM. The meta chain, right, which is basically a meta chain is a blockchain that runs a unique shard and has responsibilities, and the responsibilities are not processing transactions but notarizing and finalizing the processed shard block headers, right? So all the way down to nodes, token, the team, and even we could talk about, the differences between Elrond and Algorand or Elrond and Ethereum 2.0. But I do think there's some things that you guys should actually do some solid research on and understand in a little bit more detail. 𝗕𝗏 is a project that me and Chris did some research on very early on in 2021 and late 2020. And we were so impressed, we had to basically invest there and then on this particular project. This has so much capability for serious potential in the future. So we are invested in it. I really like this project. I think it's worth doing more in research on it, learn more about the consensus mechanism, learn more about adaptive state sharding, and learn a lot more about the team, the supply, the differences between Algorand and Ethereum, and all of that kind of good stuff. Now, let's get to the topic at hand though, guys. Let's actually talk about price prediction for 2025, right? So we have a brief understanding of what 𝗕𝗏 is trying to do, the way that it does it using adaptive state sharding, and of course their new, innovative, consensus mechanism, right? So what about price? Well, obviously during this bull run, we have some pretty interesting expectations for 𝗕𝗏 and the EGLD token, right? So we are also talking about a price prediction of around $870 in this particular run. This actually takes it another 390% from the current position, right? So in order to understand where things might lie in 2025, we have to first of all understand where we are going, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of assumptions on our journey. We're going to assume that the bull run has finished and we did actually peak out at $870. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of our price range and we're going to go ahead and throw this on our $870 at the top here. Now, during a bear market, we will lose approximately 90% of our value. And when we do this, we'll obviously see a nice low point. Okay, so we'll drop this down into about 90%. Now, if we drop down lower than 90%, then actually we'll push higher in the next cycle. So the lower it goes, the higher we go next time. Okay, so obviously if we don't drop 90%, then we'll expect a lower price prediction for 2025. If we go down lower than 90%, let's say 95%, then we'll actually push higher prices in 2025. So we're going to take the $870 as the high point, and then we're going to assume a 90% drop, which will take us to $86 approximately on the bear market. Okay, and then this allows us to then plot a Fibonacci retracement tool. We'll go ahead and throw this on, and we'll take that high point and we'll take that low point, okay? This then obviously allows us to take a look at where things are likely to go in 2025. And again, I think for those people who want to do some research, understand exactly how this is working and understand the tokenomics as well, because obviously when it comes to 𝗕𝗏, there's only 31 million coins, which is a very, very low number. And that is kind of similar to what is going on with Bitcoin, right? There's actually 21 million for Bitcoin. There's 21 million for EGLD with a 10 million staking rewards and basically staking participation rewards that are gifted out later, right? So over time, there's an additional 10 million that add into the ecosystem. But basically, it's 21 million plus 10 million, getting you to the 31 million tokens, right? So we know that the supply is really already very, very small, and there's some fantastic things that they're working on in terms of fundamentals and use case, right? So do check all of that out. So when we talk about price prediction, we obviously really know the supply is going to be squeezed anyway, specifically when people like me and Chris are going to be accumulating in the bear market. So do pay attention in the bear market, guys. We'll do some videos on our buy zones on our way down to this 90% before we actually go back into the price discovery mode and go after this price prediction for 2025. Okay, so we now have a pretty interesting set of targets here. The first target for our 2025 price prediction and kind of bull run, the first target on the 1.618 comes in at $1,352. So not too bad considering we are looking at the current price of 174. You might often say that actually, we want to wait for the bear market to come in and find these low points. We have to bear in mind that during this bear run, this is actually a really reasonably low area to be buying anyway, right? There's a little bit lower to go, but we'll be buying the dip on several areas and dollar cost averaging better positions. So actually the current price isn't too bad to actually be accumulating. And bearing in mind that me and Chris were actually buying it much lower than this bear market scenario as well. So basically, yeah, 1,352 is the first target. We actually go up from here to the 2.618. And here we see $2,135. So again, a really reasonable area there, pretty good price target to be going after in the next few years. So again, that's not bad. We go on to the 3.618. This is where we see $2,918. And then at the very end, the 4.236, the full extension on the Fibonacci retracement tool, comes in at $3,401. So guys, for our kind of price expectations on EGLD and Elrond in the next bull run, would put this thing at around $3,401, which I would not be, be disappointed with in the slightest. I think that's a really reasonable return on investment. And specifically, even if I don't sell any during this run, which I intend to do, I will be selling on the way up. You know the strategies, guys. We sell on the way up and then we buy on the way down. But I was actually buying way down here, right? And that's a fantastic thing with this project. It's got so much traction very, very quickly, and rightfully so. The decent price prediction for 2025 has come in here. And of course, we can think about what 2030 is going to look like. We can think about what 2035 will look like. This project, I think, is going to swallow up quite a lot, and I think they're going to do incredibly well. So guys, do more research on this one. Dig in deep into all of the white papers and figure out what this project is offering that maybe some of these other platforms are not, and really get behind it and see what you think. Let us know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Elrond? Do you think this is a nice, reasonable price prediction for 2025, or do you think we're going to go so much higher by 2025, or do you think this is wishful thinking and maybe we're not even going to get to the $870 that we're going to see this year? Let me know in the comments below. Super interested in your thoughts, guys. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.